The 13 Colonies, Chapter 8, The Story of Georgia. The big question: why did James Oglethorpe want to set up a colony in North America? The Voyage to Savannah. The year was 1732, and the ship was called the Anne. It was a very crowded ship with 120 passengers and many animals. Most of the people on the Anne were poor and unable to find work in England. There was, however, one very wealthy gentleman on the ship. His name was James Oglethorpe. Everyone called him Father Oglethorpe because he was kind and gentle. James Oglethorpe was the leader of the new colony named Georgia, in honor of King George II. It was the last of the southern colonies to be established. James Oglethorpe was born into a wealthy family. When he was a teenager, he joined the English army. He became captain of the Queen's Guard. He left the army when he was 26 to become a member of Parliament. He spoke out for poor people and for people jailed because they could not pay their debts. In England, people often went to jail for a long time if they could not pay their debts. Sometimes they were there until they died. The story of Georgia. At this time, people in England who did not have enough money to pay their debts were put into jail. James Oglethorpe wanted to find a way to give debtors and all poor people a new start. He and a group of businessmen asked the king to let them start a colony in North America. They asked him to make the colony a place for poor people to begin a new life. James Oglethorpe dreamed of building a great city for the Georgia colony. He brought in a city planner to design the new city of Savannah. The streets were wide and straight, and there were many parks. Oglethorpe had many other dreams for the colony. He dreamed of making the Georgia colony a refuge for poor people and for people of different religions from all parts of Europe. He also wanted to keep the colony free of slavery. He had been to Charleston, where he saw how badly enslaved workers were treated. Oglethorpe also believed Native Americans should be treated fairly and with respect. He made a rule that no white man may cheat the Native Americans. The Native Americans called James Oglethorpe the Great Man. They called him that to show their respect for him. What happened next? Some of Oglethorpe's dreams did not come true. Parliament made it hard for poor people who owed money to leave English jails and settle in Georgia. Rice turned out to be the only crop that could be grown in Georgia and sold for a profit. And to grow rice, many workers were needed. In 1750, the leaders of Georgia decided to change the rules. Slavery and big rice plantations were now allowed, just as in the Carolina colony. This is the end of the chapter.